What's up, everybody? It's another NFC EAST show, week 18. Coming forward to you. Regular season's almost over, and we know that Sneaky's very happy about that because his team stinks out
loud.
Yeah.
We beat Arizona out of the five. We beat Arizona out of the 5 games. And no, don't go there, Philly. Don't.
Hold on. But did you lose? Did you lose to us?
Hold on.
We're 1-4 in our last 5 games, but guess who we did beat?
You know, I'll tell you what. Let me go ahead and get you a couple pillars for this collapse that you're having. This end of you had me as a believer this whole year, and even I was giving you guys props of not playing your perfect football and still winning games. And you guys had one job, and that was to beat Arizona to get the NFC East. But no. Now you got to set it up for the Cowboys. You don't live here, Philly. You don't know what it's like, man. Everybody.
You are correct. I don't know what it's like because I don't live in Dallas.
I hate him. And now.
And we love the hate.
Oh, yeah, y'all. Yeah. Right now, you're relishing in the hate. I had somebody tell me, I'm getting my hat once we win. I mean, it was like, and of course, me being me, I'm like, that's all you're going to have to. It's a hat.
You know what? Let's start there, though. Let's start there.
Okay.
For all those people that didn't know, I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but there was something that occurred. If you remember, there was a bet that was made between Sneaky and the player of the Dallas Cowboys,
Sam Williams. I'll say his name. Sam. Yep.
And there was some confusion about how the bet was going to get paid off, and I feel like Sneaky did a very noble thing.
Thank you.
And to resolve this, because there was no exchange of hats or anything like that. But he wound up, for those people who did not see it, Sneaky gave Sam Williams an Ole Miss belt.
A custom. No. A custom Ole Miss. So thank you. You know what? I appreciate you bringing that up. I'm glad you brought that up. And I did make a post because I want to put a bow on it. That's what I said in the post. And yes, I lost the bet. Okay. And if you haven't heard about it, okay, and I'm saying this very humbly, you were under a rock. Okay. I legitimately lost friends over this. Okay. I there's some people I still have blocked off of my TikTok and Instagram because of this. And I'm going to cut to the chase. So I realized that Sam Williams was the all-time sack leader in 2021. So what I did, I had a custom belt made specifically for him. And when I approached him, first thing I said to him, of course, I'm decked out head to toe, Giants gear, hat, sweater, even socks. You couldn't see the socks. I said, I come in peace. And he was a good sport about the whole thing. Gave him the belt. He loved the belt. He really appreciated the gesture. And then after I gave the belt, the representative, one of the guys females that was taking the picture, she was like, could you please stay? This is an awesome moment, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I stayed. And then, of course, I had my video. And, of course, me, I'm still going to be me, regardless of what the situation was. I asked Sam one question. I said, double or nothing, And, of course, that was a joke. But it was all good. And I'm glad he enjoyed it. And for those Cowboy fans that wanted me to wear a hat, stay mad because it's done and over with. Stay mad.
And I feel, I'll be honest, I feel that was actually a better resolution to the bet.
Oh,
That was a
yes.
much better.
For the record, it cost more than the hat. So
I can imagine. But no, but you know what? Not only, but I tell you, for a lot of different reasons, that was a really good gesture by you. I said because it's tough when you are a super fan of any team to start to be able to have any type of friendship or relationship with these players.
right.
You know, it's a challenge in general because I mean, let's just face it. I mean, we're fans; they're players,
Right.
and unless you have some type of tie to them, they're not really interested most of the time. So I kind of feel that where it could have ended poorly with everything that had happened the way that it did, I feel that this was a much better resolution across the board.
Thank you for that. And you know, and I
So-
want to. There's the bearded man, the other bearded man. I also want. I just want to add too that when you're dealing with these players, they trust nobody. Okay, they have no reason to trust. I mean, well, they have every reason not to trust you. So the moment you get, a second to either, I don't want to. When I mean, when I was going to say embrace. When I mean embrace, I mean like having an encounter, have a moment with them. Just be straight up, honest, and true, and whatever. No pun intended. And whatever interaction you have with the individual, with the player, keep it to yourself. Nobody needs to know your business, and well, that's how I don't know how you guys do it because I'm sure you guys talk to players as well. But that's what I do when I have a moment and I engage with athletes. It's between me and them, and it's all about trust. And yeah, even as a Cowboys fan, and I could have said so much stuff to the National Enquirer. No, I'm not going to do that. But seriously, just it's all about trust, and I'm glad he enjoyed the belt. So,
well, and like I said, I thought it made for good content for anybody who still has an issue with the fact that the bet wasn't paid the way it was supposed to be paid. That's now, and that's kind of how I felt about it. I was leaving it off of my list to talk about because I said it had nothing to do with me in the first place. However, I felt that once you did this, it was something that should have been brought up again.
Well, I appreciate that. I wasn't going to bring it up, honestly. I completely forgot about it because it's done and whatever. But I really do appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you, Philly.
So exactly. That being said, let's talk about what happened this week.
Yes.
And we might as well start on Saturday. Where True Blue is going to tell us how he did not report.
But he did.
But he didn't.
But he did.
But he did.
No, he didn't. And it even comes out. It even comes out from the head coach himself that they're trying to be sneaky about it. Pun intended. And the thing was that
I love it.
when whole thing was, let's go ahead and send 2 linemen up, and then send number 70 running up. What nobody paid attention to was number 70's running into the game. You can clearly see in him check in with the referee, even though anybody has that backside view. He is checking in with the referee 70 as he's running in. And then that's when the ref runs over, calls it out loud over the announcement, and says number 70 is eligible. He didn't say 68. He said number 7. That's the end of the story. That's how it is. That's how it went.
I got this one. You know what you would have done, or what you just did, is something that I believe we would have done as fans, right? I mean, we would defend our team, right? Either we agree or disagree, and it's irrelevant to how we perceive what happened. Okay. The reason why I say all that it's irrelevant is the fact that crew got demoted. So regardless regardless of that play or any other missed calls, it says a lot from the NFL to demote that referee crew. And
Well, it just wasn't that one play.
well, I know. I'm just like I said, it's irrelevant for me to say if I agree with the call or not, or because I did read about the article where Campbell kind of fired back at the NFL because the NFL tried to blame him, and he's like, oh no. And I paused for a second. I'm like, you know what? It's irrelevant how I feel about this, how he feels about this. It says a lot about that referee crew as a crew that they will not be
Most
officiating
definitely.
during the playoffs. And I think for me,
Correct.
I mean, I'll take some solace into that because just that alone, if it wasn't as egregious as Cowboy fans, not just you, Cowboy fans made it out to be, they'd be officiating a playoff game. Point blank.
Yeah, and the whole game that again, what have we been saying all year on the show about the referees?
Inconsistent.
We've been saying it's just,
For the last couple of years.
well, yeah, but this year specifically, even last week, I went into how even the announcers are calling plays saying, "What are these guys seeing?"
Yeah.
And it's been just a range from all of games. It hasn't just been the specific. This game, of course, it led up. They had two more opportunities. We jumped offside, then they failed on that one. But the thing that it just irks me. It just irks me to have what the Lions had did, sending 3 players over, and then hearing the referee's announcement. You can hear it. The crowd was loud, yes, but you can hear him signal that number 70 was checking in, not number 68. And at that moment, who could have stopped that? Who could have went in there? It could have been Jared Goff. It could have been the head coach. It's their responsibility to make sure that the person that's called in, it's not anybody else's except the Lions. Now, when he said 70 is marking himself as eligible, he should have just turned around and said, no, we were trying to do 68, but that's not what happened. Because 70 ran in, flagging his chest, checked himself in. That's what he did. I'm telling you, I saw it firsthand. He was checking in. It wasn't number 68. 68, you go to the rule books, you must check in regardless. 68 never did that. 70 did when he was running in towards the sideline.
I saw 68 doing this.
He probably was. But it's neither here or there. I mean, it was just atrocious what the officials did. And it was, the Hutchinson trip that never got called, And I'm going to say right now, after reviewing the game and going back and looking at it on NFL Plus, I'm going to say Hutchinson's a dirty player. He's just flat out dirty player. And I'll tell that to him, to any Detroit Lions fan. It was disgusting, the hip checks that I saw him doing. I don't talk bad about anybody, but when you're trying to hurt a QB, you got to say something to yourself. What's going on with this guy? I mean, not just once, twice. And then the trip. There's a lot of things I want to say right now. And you guys know I'm not tempered.
I'm actually, to be fair, I am a little. You are showing a little more emotion than usual.
Because
I'll give you that.
It's because of the way he was playing. You go back and look at that film; it was just dirty. And if his lineman wasn't there, if Dak's lineman wasn't there to help him on that second one, Dak would have never got up. His leg was bent, it was twisted, and the lineman caught him at perfect timing. And it was just disgusting as a fan to see that a player in the NFL would be trying to do that to another player. It just wasn't right. And after going back in and looking at it and going around, and I said, well, maybe, this is just a two or three. No, it's been more games. It's been more games. And it was said, I believe last week, that Roger Goodell actually wants that play taken out of the game.
What play was this?
The hip.
Got you.
When you're tossing down and you're throwing your hips down to the ground, that's what got Lamar Jackson earlier in the year. That's what got his tight end. That's what got Dak Prescott against the Giants a couple of years ago.
The hip check.
Yes.
Yeah. They're actually trying to alleviate that type of tackle, but they don't know how to remedy. That's the
Well,
problem.
it's very easy.
It's one of those. This is why
You
the
have
NFL
to try and do that type of move.
Right. When you drop your hips to bring someone down, because you can break someone's leg. I mean, that's how Dak broke his ankle. That's exactly how Dak broke his ankle.
And Lamar Jackson, like I said, got hurt, and everybody else. And there's been several more players that have been hurt and injured, and they haven't been able to finish out the season because of that play. And it's very frustrating as a fan. And not, like I say, not just of the Dallas Cowboys, of the Baltimore Ravens, who lost their tight end with the season-ending injury just like that, and a couple of other guys who have done it. So I'm done with that.
Well, and there would be some people would say that some of the Dallas Cowboy defenders are on the dirty side, and some of the Niners defenders are on the dirty side.
Oh well, shit. Thibodeau last year,
and I got
Thibodeau was getting crap last year when he sacked Folds on the ground doing snow angels, and then he was labeled a dirty player.
Well, he was labeled more like an ass than anything else.
Yeah,
because I mean, here he was hurt, and then he's sitting there playing games. You know what I mean? That was the problem with Thibodeau. Like against the team that really, I mean, the Giants stunk last year too. Obviously,
we made the playoffs last year. I mean, come on,
you did.
Put some respect.
If I remember correctly, we spanked you there too. Right? We spanked you there too, right?
Yeah, because you guys were the number one seed and stacked team. We weren't ready for y'all. But the fact that we made the playoffs, that was in itself an accomplishment. I wish we would have done it this year again, but c'est la vie.
But what I'm getting at is that I'd be willing to bet that you could probably find dirty play by most defenses.
I can
that there's always going to be some dirtiness that goes along. Like when we played against Dallas and Dallas Goedert got his arm broken, I felt that was a completely dirty play on the way he did that.
No.
So
that was
and then somebody else got their arm dislocated or whatever by the same type of move. So it was a little bit of a dirty play, but
not when you're
again. No, see, that's really how that goes. So you don't just go ahead and break somebody's arm. But
you don't.
That all being said, like I said, same with the 49ers. 49ers took a lot of liberties against the Eagles. And the problem was, for that game specifically, that we were operating at 80% and they were operating at 100%. And when you are a step behind, those hits that you get hit with are bad. They look bad. They look much worse than they are because one guy's going 100%, the other guy's not going as quick, and it just becomes, bad for your guys. So I'm not calling anybody a dirty player. What I am doing is saying that there are lots of dirty plays that occur in professional football. So to say that one guy is more dirty, like Sue was a real dirty player, because he stomped on people and he did certain things.
He was the Draymond Green.
I don't see Hudson on that level.
And yes, you are correct.
Draymond Green of
you are correct. You are correct in saying that there's dirty players across the NFL. It's not just one. Perfect example. You go back to the 60s, 70s, when the guys were clubbing each other, it was part of football. But when you see, when you actually, it's not just focusing in on one game. When you start to go in and start to see film and you look at it and people are pointing you in that direction, and then you start to notice the pattern. It's just like analytics are out there. You see the pattern, you start recognizing it, then it points to exactly the same thing, which is where the numbers are pointing to. So I don't say it lightly. And just like you said, Sue was one of those guys that would just go stomp on you when you're sitting there or laying down on the ground. He'd just stomp you in the crotch. That's but
That was really nice
overall. Yeah, and it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating as a fan, regardless of which team. When you see that type of play happening, and then you do see those fines instituted by the NFL, nothing like what the Carolina Panthers owner got over the last couple of days.
They would have named that stadium after me if that was me. I would have had injuries after that. Oh, it's burning. Yeah. Oh, I'm allergic to soda. Oh, I want to hurt and but I'll set up for $20 in a jawbreaker. I mean, okay. Yeah. I want to,
and that's a type of thing.
I just want to ask you something, True. Being that the Detroit Lions was one missed call away from winning. Okay. I know the Cowboys won, and you guys are one game away from clinching the division. True. You got not true. Pork Ryan, you got one job. One job.
Nope.
I mean, now that being said, Detroit's not a bad team. Okay.
No.
And we can sit here and say it took the refs to help. I'm not going to say it because they got demoted, but it took the refs' help for, Dallas Cowboys to be successful, right? How confident are you in this team, knowing, I mean, and there are some Cowboy fans that are upset, and that's why I'm asking you this question. There are a few Cowboy fans that I saw their content where they're upset, and they themselves say, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, but Detroit won that shit. That's what they said. How confident are you going into postseason? I mean, granted, you guys are one win away of being the second seed. Now, what does that mean? Not only do you get one home game, but you get two. Okay. Just going off of just the Detroit game.
Potentially three, by the way.
Well, potentially. Yes. If, that'd be an upset. That'd be a huge, and it could happen. God help us. What's your thoughts on that?
So again, the bad refs. The Lions were a tough team going into that game. But see, what everyone forgets is that one personal foul for tripping that was called against the Cowboys when it was Hutchinson who was trying to trip a team member. It wasn't our guy. It was them. They called it on us. It would have been 2nd and 2. It put us back 15 yards further. With that first down, we would have killed the clock. We can do all these ifs, ands, or buts, but
right.
When it comes down to it, they called the penalty on us when all we had to do was get 2 yards, and they gave us 15 to draw back. And that's why we had to get rid of that ball. Because they had no timeouts. Had we got that first down, it would have just been a nil-down situation, but that didn't happen.
In the first half, Detroit had opportunities to put points.
Oh, yeah.
But they got gutsy and they went for it. So, I mean, they could easily won that game. There was, you can't – that's the thing.
And not for nothing, and just to keep going on that, the moment that you get that 5-yard penalty, you kick the extra point and you bring it to overtime.
Yes.
Do not risk your team. They still had an opportunity at the number 1 seed too at that point.
They did.
Yeah.
So by losing that game, San Francisco losing that game, they would have been the number 1 seed had they won. So at that point, even a tie would have made it better.
Yeah.
And they asked Campbell at in the post conference, right? Post game conference. Why didn't you kick it? He said, well, no, because I told my guys we're going to get the ball and we're going to go for the 2-point conversion. There has to, and
I commend him.
And I get it too, because you're holding your guys accountable. you're showing trust, you're showing faith, but there got to be a moment where you're right. I agree with you. When Parsons went off sides and you get closer, kick the damn ball. Kick it.
I would have
Yeah.
kicked him. I would have kicked him.
but, you know,
Oh yeah, it would have been done.
That's why I'm saying I commend the Lions. I commend the coaching staff. He wants to win, and that's how that's what he wanted. He wanted to win the game. He wanted to show to his guys that he trusted them.
Believes in them, yeah.
When it comes down to it. But it's
well,
like,
but I get that. I get that. And once they make the play, and then the refs say no good, then at that point you gotta do what's best for your team.
Yep.
And going for a 2-point conversion at that point, 7 yards out, is not what's best for your team.
Oh, that's where he fell on the other side and thought it was. And again, I commend him on that. It takes a lot of guts. Takes a lot of guts to do that 3 times in a row.
Some big marbles.
Yeah.
And that last play wouldn't matter if he caught that ball or not. He wasn't going to get it. No, he wasn't going to get it.
If he would have threw it, if he would have let him into the end zone, he would have scored.
Yeah, the whole play was
the thing.
bad. The whole play was bad.
Here's the thing. Everybody knows that QB for the Lions cannot throw to the sidelines on those types of routes. That's what surprised me.
And how crazy is it? How crazy is it that it could be them versus LA?
Oh,
that's what everybody's wanting.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why the ref called that.
That's why the refs called.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
It is, and with that game going in, especially Saturday night was kind of good for me, so I can come back and relax and watch the Eagles and the Giants getting into that game.
And let's all right. Let's turn that.
Was the Eagles and the Cardinals.
Well, we'll get to you in a second because mine's not that exciting.
Mine's quick.
Yeah, yours real quick.
A field goal at the end of the game is not exciting.
No, mine is not, because when we played against the Packers and they scored their touchdown and we were driving down the field with DeVito, I had a feeling that we were going to kick the winning field goal. It was like a premonition. It was like a Jedi mind trick type deal, right? Because Jedis, they have foresight. That's what I was alluding to. Those that don't know about the Force. Okay. Fast forward, to last Sunday when we were going down the field and Crosby was lining up. I did not have that same foresight. I knew he was going to miss it.
Damn.
And so did McVay, because McVay says, if he makes this, I'm retiring next year. If not, I'll stay.
And then he must offered Crosby a job or something then, because I'm being serious. Like it was a weird feeling. Wife was even saying he's only 45 of 70 something from that. I'm like, or 44. And I'm like, well, honey, he got a hit. We're just worried about him being 45 and whatever. I don't care. As long as he makes this one, we were just going to put another win in the win column. And I just, in my heart of hearts, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked when he missed the kick.
And going into a little bit of that, it was, once you said that, it struck me, Max Crosby. And I was just like, I remember the Green Bay games. He wasn't doing it so much, but I was really rooting for him to make it. I really was. I was like, the quick touchdown you guys had, and then getting the ball back, with 3 minutes after you stopped the Rams and trying to drive down the field. I really thought you guys were going to get it. And I was like, oh, it's up to Max Crosby to get this game. I don't know.
And I just can't put into words how or why I felt the way I felt. I just did not. I was like, I was hoping. Oh, don't get me wrong. I was hopeful, but I was not shocked when it didn't happen. I wasn't.
I think it was because Mama Boss gave you those numbers.
Well, it was even before that. It was before those, and I'm just sitting here like, because it was a, and I was questioning myself. I'm like, why do I not have faith in this guy right now? Why do I not have faith in this drive? And
because we've seen it too many times, Sneaky.
That's so disappointing. It's so disappointing.
So, talking about disappointments, Pork Rind, how did you think about your game?
Hey, I walked out of there feeling like $1 million because the entire fourth quarter, I just watched the Cardinals-Eagles game on my phone.
You weren't even watching your game.
There wasn't much to watch.
Right.
No, I mean, the first half really shocked me. I think we went into halftime down 13-10, and then it went downhill from there. But yeah, I mean, it was,
I think it was 20-10 at halftime, but you guys, it was 13-10 with like 2 minutes left to go in the half, and then they scored a touchdown, I think.
No, I'm looking at the score right now. It was 13-10.
Was it 13-10?
It was 13-10 at halftime.
Okay.
And, yeah, I knew that we were like saying, "Wow, they're keeping it close." And
because San Fran scored 2 touchdowns, or one in the third and one in the fourth quarter, to make it.
And tell me if I'm wrong, Pork Rind. Tell me if I'm wrong. But were you and Echo were there, and you were not dressed up? You were in casual clothes.
No, what?
Yeah, first time since 2018. Yeah.
Was that like a silent protest? Like what? Wait, are you okay? You good? You want to talk about it? I'm here for you.
Yeah, I know. No, so I had a lot of family. I had a lot of family come to the game. I've got some relatives that are 49er fans, so they were at the game, and I just wanted to hang out with the family and not be asked every 2 feet to take a picture, and so I did it more so for my family than anything. Plus, Echo,
there you go.
She's been, pretty good about not complaining about, having to stop every 5 minutes to take a picture and that. Right. So I owed her a game, so why not?
Oh, okay. Because I was about to tell you, it's okay not to be okay.
It's so funny because I walked past. So many people walk past me. I'm like, and they did a second look or whatever. And they're like, dude, what? And I'm like, okay. and I walk past my guy that I greet every time I'm walking down to my seats, and he looked at me.
Who knows me well? He knows me pretty well as well. The same guy.
He's a really good guy, and he looked at me, and I was like, "You don't recognize me without my paint on, do you?" And he was like, "I wanted to say yes, but I mean, he's never seen me without it." And he was like, "I gotta get a picture with you." So we took a picture, and then but I mean, it was fun. I mean, it was a good day. But yeah, I was very surprised that it wasn't a blowout, and I mean, it ended up being a blowout. But Sam Howell, he didn't have any turnovers in the first half. They got Terry McLaurin involved in the game, which was nice to see. I mean, it was only in the first half, but it's frustrating. I like Sam Howell. I feel like the second half of the season kind of got away from him. He's kind of digressed a little bit, but I mean, with us possibly getting the number 2 pick, I mean, the writing's on the wall. They're going to go QB, which it's, I'd rather get offensive line help for the man and see what he's got. But, that's not my fault.
Is it automatic that you get the number 2 pick?
Or do
you have to lose?
When we lose,
gotta lose.
When we lose against the Cowboys this Sunday, we will have the number 2 pick.
You said win.
Hey, we're not gonna win. Come on, man. They're fighting for the division.
No, but I think, and I'll be honest, I feel like that Washington's going to come to play because this is Rivera's last game, and this is kind of like him having cancer or anything like that. They're going to, it's like one of those ridiculousness things that happen that like he's just all of a sudden the world is going to shift, and everybody who ever played from Washington is going to play through your team. That's the Commanders or whatever, and
Maybe the
make it close.
Maybe
I think Pork Ryan's ready for August of this year.
I'm ready for.
I'm ready.
He's ready for Detroit in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. We'll see.
Let me ask you this now: with Sam Howell, this being his third year, right?
No, this is only his second year.
Second year being a starter, though, right?
Oh, this is his first year being a starter. This is only his second year. This is sophomore season. He only started the last game of the season.
That's right. That's right.
So last Sunday was his complete first season, I guess you could say.
So why are they pulling the hook on him so quick?
I mean, they might not be, but they're going to be bringing in a new GM, new coach.
Oh, right.
They're going to want their guy. So,
It doesn't mean they couldn't audition him out to the rest of the NFL though.
Yeah, that's true.
Trying to get some value for him.
The kid's got talent, man. The kid's got arm strength. He just didn't have offensive line. And here's the other thing. Last Sunday, they actually ran the ball pretty good. But throughout the entire season, they didn't run the ball. They dropped them back every down, and he was getting murdered.
And now, and you also mentioned new coach, the enemy. Is he the new coach? Is he the heir apparent?
He'll be gone.
No way is he going to be the heir apparent.
I said it in the middle of the season, but no, I don't think he'll be back.
I actually think he'll be going back to Kansas next year.
That's what we were talking about that in another show.
I actually said that too. I said I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Kansas City. I know there was rumors a couple of weeks ago that if Chicago was to give her their head coach, he could possibly be in Chicago, but
that was a questionable move in the first place. I don't know why he left KC.
He wanted to make a name for himself, and he thought Washington. But I honestly think if we had a better offensive line, things might have been different. But yeah.
Well, anyways,
now to the pillars of the NFC. Well, no, because it's a collapse, so there's no pillars.
I'd say a flaming trash can right about now.
Jeez. I don't know. I think they had a great game. It was a great game plan. Did you see how Brian Johnson called that last play of the Alabama-Michigan game?
Yes.
It was the exact same play. I am wondering if this is done as a farce, like that this is being done like ultimately very sneaky, and they're going to wind up being a running team going into the playoffs, because I don't understand how they are calling these plays. First off, not for nothing, Matt Patricia coming in for Desai, and as of right now, I have decided to get rid of both of them. You know what I mean? That they both of these, how do you let up? If it wasn't for the pick six that occurred,
right,
they would have scored on 6 drives.
Right.
6 drives in a row. And that was a 14-point swing. It's 20-6 at halftime. And we can't close out the deal. And then on top of that, every time Swift runs the ball, gets 6-7 yards, but we're going to pass.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Remind me again, the coach for the Cardinals was which position coach with the
defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Right now, as I heard this line the other day, and I said I was going to steal it and put it on all my podcasts, and I am going to do exactly that. Right now, the Eagles have a bend and break defense, and last time I checked, they don't work in the NFL. When you bend and break,
not good.
You usually lose.
Do you think it's because the defensive coordinator coming in knowing the offense?
No. I mean, you could say a little bit of that, but truth of the matter is that our linebacker crew is non-existent, and you are going to have different, you know, the 5 yard pass is always there, and you could just keep on doing it and keep on doing it and keep on doing it and keep on doing it, and then to let like, and then to get beat long. It's just like it's so ridiculous. It's just how is it that this is continuing to happen over and over again? We get beat short, we get beat long. We could stop the run pretty good. Oh, except last week where they rushed for 240 yards.
Yeah.
So there was so many things that just failed. On top of the fact that our defense was out there for 43 minutes. 43 minutes. You know what that means? That means the defense is tired. It's exhausted.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. Like you've got a couple of rookies and 2-year linemen, defensive linemen. They're not used to playing that many snaps. We used to have rotations in and out of there. We don't got those rotations anymore. A lot of things went bad.
So I'm looking
I'd
at
be surprised. I'd be surprised if we played this game. I would rest our guys and try to give them as much break as they can. Let the Giants run the score up on us 70-0 if that was the case, and get ready for the playoffs. I feel like that's. I'm dead honest here. I feel like it wouldn't matter.
Sneaky fucked up, boy. He was like, "What?"
Well, because I know. He's saying 70-0 in Giant years or in Giants offense. That's 13-0.
Yeah.
So
right.
To be fair.
So
either way, you'd be happy.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course,
we can't get off the field on third down. It doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 18. It seems like every time they wind up getting the first downs, and it's whatever. Trash man. Stop talking. I let you talk about your Cowboys. Shut up about the Eagles because you don't even know what you're talking about with the Cowboys. So, Trash Man, no more talking. Don't make me have to silence you.
What?
I don't even know what he's saying. I wish I
did. It's great, man. It just keeps on. So
you said that 3rd and 18 was it? Did that come out like it was 3rd and 18 and they got the first down?
Not this
because I know
I don't think it was this week. I think it was they didn't punt the ball.
Yeah.
So if there was a 3rd and 18, they definitely made it.
Yeah.
I know that there was some 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 6s, and I think that there was a few 3rd and 10s. I don't know that 3rd and 18. I'm making a couple of things up here.
So I'm looking at the score box, and you're right. The Cardinals had the ball for almost 40 minutes. It was 39 minutes and 30 seconds. But what stands out to me, obviously, time of possession is big for me. But they ran the ball 40 times. 40 times.
240 yards rushing.
Well,
So
I got
40 divided by 240 or 240 divided by 40 is still 6.
Yeah, well, I'm looking.
When you're running the ball for 6 yards a carry, guess what?
Well, it says they ran the yards was 221, but they also passed for they had 31 attempts. He was 25 of 31 for 232 yards. They had a total offense of 449 yards. Total offense to your 275.
And you know what happens there? You know what happens when that all occurs? You lose.
Yeah.
And we deserve to lose. It was amazing that we were still up with a minute and a half left to go.
Yeah.
Especially what you told me, the time of possession. That's insane.
Almost 40 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
But any team that runs the ball 40 times, you're taking.
You know who should have been running the ball 40 times? The Eagles. Because every time they ran the ball, it was 5-6 yards.
Yeah, you guys were 23 for 91 yards.
I don't understand that, man. If it's working, why get away from it?
I don't know, and I don't know, and then let's not do that. Let's do a quarterback draw and have him get contained, and then him slide, 4 yards loss, slide 4 yards loss, and then on 3rd and 18, there was our 3rd and 18. Let's throw a screen pass.
Yeah,
because that's what's going on.
that'll get the first down.
Tell me about it. I don't ever do end of game posts. I did one
Which I
this
saw.
week.
Oh, I saw.
I did one this week, and it was frustrating because when it happens like that, it does get frustrating. And I tell you, that video has been the most watched video that I've had out in weeks. Because that's got over 300,000 views at this point.
Nice.
So it's rare that I get that type of frustrated because I am a homer. I still love my team, and I will always love my team.
I'm a homer too.
They got that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get frustrated, and I
Of
deserve
course.
to be a little frustrated. I spend a lot of money to go to these games, a lot of my time away from my family to make sure that I'm there rooting on my team and sharing in the community of being a fan of my NFL team. And for them to put up that type of an egg makes me angry.
Well,
That
and
makes
not
me angry.
only that,
Welcome
you
to my
were-
life.
you were, welcome to our world, Philly. But
You only had 1 week.
exactly. Try having the whole season like that. I mean, look, I can understand your frustration because of the fact how you guys went on this awesome run, 10-1, 11-1. And then, like I said before, an ultimate collapse. This reminds me of the Deshaun Jackson field goal or punt return with the Miracle in Meadowlands Part 2. That's when we had our collapse. We had so much promise coming off of it was with 2 years off of a Super Bowl win. And then to have that, basically kick us out of the playoffs, it's heartbreaking. So I know how you feel. And it has to suck because you guys were sitting on top of the NFC, not the NFC East, the NFC for so long. And then you had those 3 poor games, and then you rebound against us. Whoop-de-doo. Like, what team hasn't? And then here you guys. I actually thought that it was going to be a blowout against. I think we all did. It was going to be. I haven't played the video back, but I did not believe the Cardinals could win. That game right there is the epitome of any given Sunday.
Yeah.
The epitome of it.
Yep.
And I hope to God you guys bounce back and knock Dallas out of the playoffs.
Well,
because it's all about my needs, not yours. It's all about my needs.
The funniness will come here like that because ultimately, being the number 5 seed, we're going to wind up playing whoever winds up winning, and it's still a crapshoot. The only team that's not got a chance to win the South is Carolina, so anybody could win that. And I think that whoever wins that game or wins to get in is going to be a one and done. So, although the Eagles can't play like they have to play a little bit better, but not much better. And then you're going to go to a San Francisco team, as long as Detroit holds serve, a San Francisco team that is going to essentially have 2 weeks off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there could be some rust there.
Yep.
And
that's the only thing I got going for me here at the moment. Let's talk about the games that we're going to be watching this weekend. First game on the docket. The Dallas Cowboys go up against the Washington Commanders, and the Commanders are a 13-point dog.
That's it.
And the over/under being 45.
That's it. Shoot. All right, I'll make this quick and easy for you guys. It's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be 31-13, and Dallas rests their starters in the second half.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I could see that. No, I could see that. I could see that going in. I don't think the score is going to be that high, though. just from what you said right there, they're going to rest some starters after,
You're going to have 31 points in the first half.
Okay, well, if
no
Port Brad
hope.
says that, then he has spoken. But yeah, I just think it's just going to be in that realm of what you're talking about. I don't think it's going to be, unless not the secondary defense, but the secondary team comes in and gets some practice in or whatnot. But if Washington comes out and play like Philly was saying, I think it's going to just be a little bit tougher. We've always been easy in the first half, second half, come out and dominate. But if we're allowing our second team to get in there, even the third team, it might not just be as well. But I do think McCarthy does want to get this W just to ensure things. So I've got the Cowboys winning this one 27-10.
Duplicate score.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little closer than that. I think Washington is going to come out to play some, again, because it's the Rivera factor that this is going to be the last game he's ever going to coach. And he's going to, let the guys know that he's got some disease, that he's not going to be around left in this world much longer.
He's constipated. That's what he's going to tell everybody.
That might be, but ultimately that he's going to do that type of whatever, and they're going to wind up playing a pretty good game. I think Dallas wins it ultimately, but. It's going to be like I think it's going to be like a 17-6 game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Philly. I'm gonna say that Ron Rivera is gonna stand in front of his guys and tell them that he's constipated, and he's gonna tell everybody, because I'm full of shit, let's win this one for the Gibber. And they're going to come out. They're going to win this game 13-10. That's
if we win, we could fall all the way back to 7.
Boy, I hate the Cowboys. I hate them. It's all about my selfish needs. They cannot win the Super Bowl. They cannot.
They won't.
My life will be ruined. Ruined, I say.
They won't.
God, help us.
I'm still trying to get over the. Yeah, go to the next game because I can't find those comments, boy.
The other game. The Eagles are traveling up to the Giants for the next Snow Bowl, as this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Our game's gonna be nasty.
17 inches of snow and
not that bad.
60 mile per hour winds, and I mean I don't know if it's going to be that bad, but I know it's supposed to be ugly weather.
It's supposed to be snowing up there.
Right now, you can buy tickets to this game for like $30.
Yep. If anybody wants to go on SeatGeek, section 109, row 3, 1415, wide open.
Why you got tickets up at MetLife?
No, I'm sorry. I was talking about my game.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
I meant to say that when we were talking about our game. Sorry.
Hey, we're 5-point dogs. 5-point.
You are 5-point dogs, correct? And the over/under being 41.5.
I don't even know what to say right now because it don't matter. It really don't. I want to win, but I don't want to help out Dallas. We're going to tie 13-13.
Ooh,
that would still suck for us.
That would definitely help out Dallas.
It's still going to suck. But I can't say Philly's going to beat us. Because then that'll help out Dallas, and I can't do that.
It doesn't matter what Dallas does or not. I think the Eagles are going to rest their players. And like I said, I think it's going to be one of those situations where the Giants are going to win their 5th out of the last 32 games that they've played us. They'll be 5-27.
Yeah.
Over the last however many years. Because
party at my house.
I think we're going to lose this game, and I don't think it's going to matter at all. And we're going to rest up for either Tampa or the Saints.
Oh,
Anybody?
I'm still trying to process the whole comments during the Washington games.
He's gonna win one for the Gipper.
Yeah, you did.
Milk of magnesia. You know.
I was just like, oh my goodness, but I don't know. There's more interesting games that are going to be affecting how this turnout goes. Not many, but just a couple. Besides this game, and it's going to be fun across the spectrum of the NFL to be looking at what the AFC does.
Exactly. I tell you, the 8 o'clock games on both Saturday and Sunday are going to be worthwhile watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Houston Texans versus the Colts. So
That's gonna be a good game.
That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. Because the
And
winner
that-
is the
and
division,
I
right?
believe that is just going to be. That's about for the.
The
I
division.
mean, I think Jacksonville beats the Titans, so it's going to be a foregone conclusion. But I think that's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. For that Texans Colts game.
And is that in Houston?
That is in Indianapolis.
Indy. Yeah.
And Indy's got a really good record against the AFC South, so I kind of think that that's going to be Indy's to win. I think that you got to give a lot of credit to what the coach of the Texans has done, but he's not there yet. So.
And guys, help me with this. Was it TBD for the last game last year as well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They announced it this Sunday night.
Yeah. I mean,
that game. They announced the whole schedule.
So everybody was to be determined.
Yes, this year. I don't think it was last year. I think last year there was flex games. They had some games that were flex, but
this year they put everybody.
Everybody was TBD.
So that might be a common thing from here on out. Then.
Yep.
Yeah, which sucks.
Because I was planning on being at this game. But because of the late time frame, and now granted that it's going to be. Are you going to be there, Philly?
I'm 50-50 on it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean
the weather is really affecting the way that I think about this game.
Yeah, when we saw the weather, Mama Boss was like, "Oh, well, that's why we're not going." It was meant to be. I mean, she's trying to
it worked out fine.
Sending me down, but I'm like, I would love to have been there.
If it was a 1 o'clock game, I would have been there 100%. But 4:25 and then not getting out of there till 7:30 and then
an hour and a half out of that lot.
And then possible, dealing with the weather on the Beltway. Yeah. I was thinking about just going and leaving at halftime, but I wouldn't get home till almost damn midnight. So
gotcha. Yeah.
I don't think I'll be going.
Yeah, we normally stay across the street from the.
It'd be a first home game out there. And
well, anyways, we are at the top of our hour, so we have to get going here. But thank you for everybody who joined us today and all of the different statements. Even you, Trash Man, I appreciate all the statements that you made.
Bye, Ron.
Yeah, exactly. You can say goodbye to Ron because he will be gone probably by the next time we speak. Anyways, we will be back next Wednesday to talk about the first week of the playoffs. In the
Sterling
meantime,
Shepard, you're gonna be mad.
Everybody have a great weekend, and as always,
let's go.
Later, Joe. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, and bye, Rivera, and your constipation.
Full of shit.
God.
Lost for words.